Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm here joined with two very special guests. Hopefully you know who they are already, but if you don't, you're going to be in for a very good surprise. We've got Raspect, regular at Speaker School. I was going to show you a hand there. We've got to do it like that, you know. And we've got DAWUUD, who's he's well researched in the field of like African history. He gives me a lot of knowledge and a lot of insight in that particular field. So what we want to talk about today is kind of like the EDL, the right wing, what you guys think, being in the mix of it, like, you know, in the thick of it even, what you guys think the black community stance on them. I want to show you some sources as well from like Tommy Robinson and some other key figures. And also I want to show you, there's a movement now, it's not really a movement to be fair, to be completely honest, but there are it's a splinter group or a few individuals that were known as Speaker's Corner, for example, who have now, I would call it, defected to the EDL cause. Yeah, or that at least kind of following them in certain directions. So I want to show you all of that. There was a particular interview that took place between Tommy Robinson and a regular at Speaker's Corner, whose name is Stephen Burrell. Now we're going to watch that particular interview, and I want to get your insights on that as well.
Yeah, that's good.
Is that good? Yeah. All right, come on, let's watch some of that.
Instances where a particular group of people have tried to shut our free speech down. So that's the reason I'm doing this interview. Not because I necessarily agree with Tommy Robinson's politics, but I agree 100% in the right for anyone to have their freedom of speech. And I don't want anybody taking that away from anyone. Tommy, I wanted to kind of get your view on this freedom of speech thing. Yeah. A lot of people on my channel will probably be asking questions why I'm speaking to you, right? Because I kind of align myself with more black issues, right? African-centered issues. However, for me, right, I wouldn't even be able to have that platform if it wasn't for the freedom of speech thing. So I want to know from you why you think freedom of speech is important.
With free speech, if I'm an idiot, all right, if I'm wrong, come and talk to me and debate me and show people that.
Right.
Yeah? And I think everyone has to have that right. And when I'm talking free speech, you have ultimate free speech. I'm not talking free speech to incite violence or to incite murder or to incite any of these problems. I'm talking open criticism of an ideology.
So you know what I find very interesting here, yeah? Is first of all, like how they're laying down everything, okay? So they're framing this idea that this really is about freedom of speech. And I was on Tommy Robinson's page actually just doing a bit of research, and I saw that this guy, for about a week, he was campaigning him coming to Speaker's Corner in order to defend freedom of speech. But the question is this: we all are regulars and understand the culture and the dynamics in Speaker's Corner. Speaker's Corner has always and always will be about freedom of speech. Hence why we have those debates. So again here, and we talk about this quite often, Tommy really seems to like create like these methodologies and these problems, like these dark problems that are going to come about, and they're going to take away our freedom of speech, and I have to go to Speaker's Corner and speak, as if there was no freedom of speech to begin with at Speaker's Corner. So I don't understand what like the objective is.
Like, it's like problem creation.
Yes, I feel like that a bit.
We have to be free to do that. We're not.
Right, okay. Because now you say that, you know, people need to find out who you are, not listen to what is said about you. My own experience was I used to be an actor. I actually used to be an actor in my teenage years up into like mid-20s. And I played all kinds of roles, right? All kinds of roles. And I've actually got a show reel online. Now, I played, about a decade ago, I played a bisexual character on a TV show called Family Affairs. It was on Channel 5. You remember Family Affairs? Right. I was on that for like 2 years, and my character was bisexual, right? I'm not bisexual in real life, though. It was a character. Yeah. However, what happened now that they know me, now is, oh, Sara's gay, you know? And that's now the thing. So everyone's coming to me saying, are you gay? And I'm like, no, I'm not. And they're like, oh, but I heard.
But they're throwing out you're gay because they think that's a negative thing to throw at you.
Right, they think it's negative, but
You see, look, this is an important point here. He goes, right, they think it's negative. You know, this guy, he made a video one time against Paul Williams. You remember Paul Williams on the Speaker's Corner, yeah? And he was better than him. He's better than him.
With Tommy Robinson?
No. Sara, but he was better than him. But you see here, because the white man's in front of him, he doesn't want to tell his true views on homosexuality. Do you get me? He doesn't want to say how he really feels about it. Because this guy's like, yeah, because they think it's a negative thing. This guy thinks it's a negative thing. This guy, he thinks it's a negative thing. He made a whole video. It had to be taken down from YouTube because it was reported.
Okay.
Do you get it? So why are you pretending that that's not your view? Do you get it?
Yeah.
What has happened now is that I'm now dealing with rumours, and I'm thinking, why have I got to bat away rumours? Do you know what I mean? I know who I am.
See, the rumour of you being gay is the rumour of me being racist.
So you're not racist?
Oh, come on, bro, man, don't tell me that. You know,
I've got to ask the questions.
So you're not gay?
No.
No, I'm not racist, man.
I think there are a few women that can tell you that I'm not, though.
You see that? Yeah, you see that feeling? You know that annoying frustration where you walk around and people are coming up to you asking you, are you this? Or I have people...
Because we had it outside.
We just had it outside. Before I come in here, we had someone come up to me, again, who was very unknowledgeable on any issue.
So cringe, isn't it? So cringe. Unbelievable. It's actually, I don't know.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, it's like when Kalam asked Muslims why they're on the other side of Tommy Robinson, yeah. The reason why Muslims are on the other side of Tommy Robinson is because Tommy Robinson obviously has an issue with Islam. Obviously, man's not onto no, I don't like no terrorist. I'm onto the terrorists just like anyone else. You get me, fam? Like,
all of us.
But I know that's not the mindset of the majority, not from my opinion. You get me, and my experiences. You understand? But so when like Sara like asking why people think he's gay, like you can't ask those questions. But like I've said this many times, and I've got a lot of fight for it. You get me? When you acted in the movie, you get me. A lot of the man them on the road, they did not want to affiliate with it. You understand? A lot of man came out, and once they realised that, they stepped back. You understand? A lot of man that was backing him, if they knew that at the beginning, you understand, they might have stepped back because for man to play the role, from up, and this ain't even on Sara, that's the thing, yeah? Or not as an individual anyway, this is on anyone, innit? This is on you, this is on my cousin, this is on my brother. When you can play the role, you understand, then from my head, you have to be able to mentally, you know what I'm saying, relate to it in some way, shape, or form. I couldn't play that role just because that's just not me, innit? Like,
yeah,
you know
and moreover, like
so,
this guy's being paid to do something like that.
Yeah, that's
like you got to think of it from this perspective. Like he is so averse, like he's very frustrated that people are calling him homosexual, but he was willing to accept payment for performing homosexual acts.
So from you done that because you was a big man, you was 19, 20 years old, you know what I'm saying? You knew what the outcome was. You've been in school, you'd heard Virgin drop gauge, you know what I'm saying? So you made the move and now you got to live with it. But you know what I'm saying? You got the peace for it. You know what I'm saying? So you can't take the money and then say, why is everyone thing? And then the same thing with Tommy Robinson. You understand?
Yeah.
So he said the reason why people think you're gay is the same reason people think I'm racist.
That was a setup.
It's because the reason why that is because your history, you get me, your past, your political ideologies. The best example I can use, yeah. Because people say, no, I do know Tommy Robinson's racist, yeah. Before Tommy Robinson went on his Twitter and said he's coming down for free speech, and everyone that came was white, you understand? And the breed of white people they brought out. Because if Jeremy Corbyn said he's going down to Speaker's Corner for free speech, you're going to see a multicultural crowd come out. Perfect. You understand? Because Jeremy Corbyn's mindset, his political policies, you understand? They're more understanding to work on for us. You get me? The other day we were talking about Jamaica reparations. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really for any politician like that because I feel like politics is corrupted from higher up. You understand? But at the same time, if I was to pick someone and say that looks like a guy that if I was even on the road, like you might see him and he just seems like an alright guy, like Jeremy Corbyn. You get me? So and then my man, you can tell the tone. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, someone said he used to get a lot of fight for being called racist, right, when he was part of the EDL. So obviously, if that's where most of your fight is coming from, you get me? You might ditch that.
Let me show you something. I want to get your reaction to it. Some of the brothers have been looking at his Twitter account, So this is on my Instagram. Let me show you the picture. They're going to see it here as well. This is actually a post that he put up in response to a video of someone saying this is an Eritrean black man. So he was saying in this video that, you know, Britain has come and taken over my land and didn't, like, talk about the colonial legacy of England.
Yeah.
And he said it hurts. He said, but basically in the video he goes, it hurts me that Britain had done all these things, yeah? So that's why he can never associate fully with Britain. That's what this guy said, yeah? Alright, so this is what he said, yeah? This is Tommy Robinson's response. He goes, if it hurts that much, then F off to Africa. So I don't know, what do you reckon? What do you make of that?
Well, that's the racist comment everyone's been looking for. Then. There it is, isn't it? That's the racist comment everyone's been looking for. You understand?
Because these are the arguments that Sara used to make in the park. This guy, Stephen Burrell, he used to make these arguments. He used to come into the park and say, look, the white man has done this, the white man has done that.
Twisted. If Sara and Tommy linked up on an ideological conversation thing or kalam, you understand? Then they have to be on opposite sides of the fence. It's just that right now they're not talking about their differences. Yeah. You understand? Like, because if Sara starts saying some of his beliefs, you get me? Yeah. And like any black person says the truth of how our relationship with this country, Tommy's not co-signing that. Like I said, any white person, who is more critical, of immigration than they are of foreign policy, the UK's foreign policy, how the UK interacts with foreign lands, for anyone who's ignorant of that and is still critical of immigration, you have to be racist. You have to be racist. Because you're not looking at everyone on a humanitarian simple.
I feel like just before we move on as well, something very important you said today, like if we refer back to the demonstration on that Sunday, I saw this video that Tommy Robinson shared on his Facebook account, and it was this black dude, very like Cockney accent, and he was talking about why he came down. And that's what I'm trying to say. Now, Tommy Robinson didn't come down to Speaker's Corner saying, well, I'm speaking here clearly against Islam. He came down with the precept of, I'm speaking free speech. So that's why you had that black brother saying, well, I'm here to support free speech. And it worked. It worked because that's what Sara was saying at the beginning. Well, I might have some differences with Tommy, but I want to defend his free speech. You see that precept?
Yeah, but we don't need to defend them, man. There's free speech, though. It's like me defending the free speech of the KKK. You know what I'm saying? What is in my interest to defend their free speech?
No, but you see how they're framing it.
I can see the frame, and the frame is just like, if anyone who's got eyes to see and a brain to think is gonna see, it's a complete farce. You get me? Man, don't link up with Tommy Robinson and no EDL, man. Man not gonna do that. Man fire ban them. Man chase them all over London in real life. You get me? So it's like, man chased them all over Tower Hamlets in central London. Ask EDL about me. They know about me. You understand? So, like, and obviously, a lot of people, I know right now in the comments, going to be someone saying, look, you lot face racism in the park as well. You understand? And I'm not denying that. You understand? And as I said to Mohammed HIJAB in the beginning, I said that's an issue that is going to have to be dealt with. You understand, fam? And like I said, the G, so obviously we've got this G circle this Sunday, and we're going to be set apart, and we're going to be dealing with the issues in our community. You understand? We're not getting caught in the hype, but we're making it clear that every gang member that I know of, none of them ain't supporting Tommy Robinson. Not one of them. You understand? In any way, shape or form. And even though we've had debates with the Muslims at the park, like I said, in our community, we don't have any EDL members, but we have Muslims. You get me? In the gang, we don't have any EDL members, but we have Muslims in the gang. You understand? Certified Muslims. So, like, that's our position on that, innit? You understand? We're standing in solidarity, and we definitely have to fire ban any bigotry, racist. You understand? True. That's like these man, like when these man had the power, like there's people like Stephen Lawrence. You understand? You think I can forget Stephen Lawrence? You understand? Like these are it's people with from the background of people like Tommy Robinson that killed Stephen Lawrence. It's people like that killed my older Tristan in Mark's Gate.
But they killed their own. They did like Joe Cox.
You know what I'm saying?
The MP, the white MP.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not just this thing. That's why they went to the Finsbury Park attack.
I feel like when you talk about Steve Lawrence and all these issues, I feel like just the shift has shifted slightly. Now the focus is on the Muslims for now. But once it's finished, they're gonna go back to what they were doing from the get-go.
Their political ideologies they're not talking about dealing with the issues with us anyway. That's what I'm saying. They're political. Okay, let me tell you what EDL's fighting for. Yeah, EDL's not angry that England's going around and colonising and taking from the world. They're not angry at that. Yeah, they're angry that the poor English are not getting a big enough cut. Do you understand?
Yeah.
They're saying the poor English ain't gonna. They're not saying don't go over there and stop. They're not saying that. That's not his debate.
Yeah.
He's banged that the poor English are not getting a big enough cut, and people are being allowed to come from outside and take our cuts here. That is their argument. So their argument has nothing to do with us politically.
And a lot of it is actually, sorry, I was talking to Dawoud about this in the car, like, a lot of it is post-World War II. So after World War II and the economy and infrastructure was kind of decimated in Britain, they needed the peoples of the former colonies to come in and rescue them and uplift them, because they knew that they needed that kind of support. So when the Jamaicans came in the 60s and the Indians came in the 70s, and you know the Somalis came in the 90s or whatever it is.
The immigrants built up this country.
Yeah, and so once they've done the work, now, you know, so you've done the work, now leave.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be like.
And you have to know that Tommy Robinson's, most of these fans, they didn't come from London. They come from Luton and Southampton and Wales and like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So multicultural London, he hasn't got a big following that will come out and back.
Yeah.
You understand? It's these people from way out where they probably ain't even know black people in their village for them not to like black people.
It's true. Do you know what? What I found really interesting,
I always wondered that anyway. I always thought, but I was like, okay, well, I'm from Newcastle. These like foreigners come to our place and like they steal our jobs. So I'm like, bro, like the whole village is white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you basing this on?
If a guy can come from another country, remember, this is what you have to understand. When I send my CV, just because of my name or any one of our names in the room,
true.
We're less likely to get an interview. So already we're behind. Just from sending off the thing. We're already behind. Tommy Robinson.
They've done a thing on
Tommy Robinson, we're already behind from the get-go. Okay, now I get to the interview. You understand? Okay, I'm an immigrant, you know. I'm an immigrant. I don't speak English as my first language. So I'm already behind you, Tommy. Now I don't speak English as my first language. So you're in front of me there as well. You've got the complexion. You understand? Because you're white. You understand? So you're ahead of me there. You understand? And then, you understand? So from you lose a job to me, you understand? Then you got to just know that that's based upon you, fam. You got some real stuff wrong with you because you was given like 10 steps.
Forward. The BBC the BBC did a documentary. And then they were basically looking at like different scenarios. So they had this girl, she was French. She came here and found a job. And then there was this guy, this white guy, who was complaining, oh, these immigrants, Europeans, they come over here and they take our jobs. Then what they did, okay, I'm going to take you now to an agency. Guess what his problem was? Low self-esteem. And there were jobs that he was not willing
to do. Yes, that's what I was going to say. Most of the jobs they don't want to do. They feel like they're above a lot of them jobs there. Yeah? So that's why you go into any establishment and you might see a black cleaner.
Yeah, they wouldn't do that.
She want to feed her children at the end of the day.
Or black security guard.
You get it?
On Sunday.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you want to continue?
It's mad.
But he's again judging me on what he thinks. And he only thinks it because the media have built up a persona and a picture of me for him.
So we established that he has racist
tendencies. I don't blame people.
Yeah, we showed the evidence.
If I read a newspaper, when I was leaving the English Defence League, if I didn't know the English Defence League and I read a newspaper saying Nazis are coming into my town, I'd be one of the first people to go out and stand there and say, you're not coming through my town. No Nazis coming through my town. Yeah? The difference is we weren't Nazis. The difference is from the very first day, if I talk to you, this is why we had such a strong issue against the National Front and against Nazis as well. And I had a real problem with people within the English Defence League who I felt were trying to manoeuvre the movement. Because before, what founded the English Defence League was the United People of Luton. Yeah? It was a group of our community who formed. And on the very first day that we formed, I sat in a pub and a man walked in. There's 200 of us in the pub. And this was our first demonstration. If you go on United People of Luton, you'll see this demonstration. And a man walked in the pub and he goes, I said, all right, mate, where are you from? Because I knew he weren't a Luton lad, and there's everyone else from Luton. He goes, Barnet, mate. I go, so I sound. He goes, don't worry, 20 National Front just got off the train station. I said, you see when they get here? I said, yeah. I said, they're going to get their fucking heads kicked in. And he went, what? I said, look around this pub, bro. Look around the pub. They may not be outnumbering people, but there are non-white people in this pub, and they're part of they're who we are. So, and when they did come, they got chased out of it.
Let me talk about.
You see this, yeah? As you can see, look, you're gonna see in a second, yeah, that he doesn't really challenge the racist thing. Look, as you said, when he came on Sunday, I would say at least 99%, and that's not an over exaggeration. 97, all right, cool. 97% of the people that came in the park on his side were white. People don't. It doesn't. His message
you can't use that token black guy. You can't use him. Do you know what I mean?
That guy was up in the pub. That's one of the guys that's in the pub. Like, there's certain black brothers, that grow up in places, where they grow up different from the man them. You get me? They're around the pub where man are busting monkey jokes and wherever, and they're cool with it, and they'll say that my man's not racist, but us man, we're different. You know what I'm saying? So you can't use them man as an example because they don't represent like our community. You understand? Like as in. They literally are outside of the community, you know what I'm saying?
Was that not the argument, I have a black friend argument, kind of?
All of that.
I would say, right?
I got a black dog.
I knew who Tommy Robinson was based on media before I actually researched him myself, right? So I had the whole thing of, oh yeah, Tommy Robinson's a racist, is it this, is it that, is it that, is it this? But what I have noticed is that when you speak, and if I look at the comment section, there are very racist people in the comment section.
Good point.
There are. Now, I'm not saying that you're a racist, because whoever knows. But what I'm saying is, it seems to me that racist people, a few, I don't know how many, I can't give a percentage, but racist people seem to follow what you say. Why do you think that is?
Well, what I'd say is, if the BBC run a news article, if the BBC put on their Facebook something about a Muslim terrorist attack, so I'd say that all the news articles I put up, or the stories I put up, a lot of them are around terrorism and around issues. So, and we had the same with the English Defence League. The English Defence League was a nationalistic organisation waving the St George's flag. It attracted all sorts of people, also a lot of idiots. And the media kept telling them it was a party for them. Now, if you want to go on spend some research, go and look at the far right in Britain, go and look at the real far right, whether you look at the alt right in America. Look at these groups and see what they think of me. They're the real racist far right, whether they be against black people or against Jews, those real organisations and people, I'm known as a race-traiting Zionist shill. They despise me. And so...
I'm paid by Zionists as well.
Oh, you are? We all are, yeah. Yeah, we all are, yeah.
Because Tommy Robinson, when we go on your videos, we see all of these people in the comments, all of these white people who despise you, all of these real racist people. Do we see them in the comments?
Yeah, we do.
We don't. I've never seen that in his comments. I've never seen these people, these real racist people despising him, saying you're not racist enough. I don't see that, fam. But I see racist people though. Do you understand? Like I don't see what he's talking about.
No, he hasn't answered the question. He didn't answer the question properly.
Yeah, he went around it, innit?
Yeah,
but that's a politician, innit?
Yeah, he is a politician.
That's a politician.
That's a very good point. The point you're making here is, if the people who despise you so much, why they're not in the comment section?
Why?
Freedom of speech.
Why aren't there these videos about you being this race traitor?
Where the money is though.
I know, that's what I keep saying. If there's all these rich Jews out there, give us your money. If everyone's going to say you're funded us, just give us your money.
Anyway.
But the other thing. So, and on our very first Luton demonstration...
And I'm sure the speech he read was from a white supremacist.
This was front page of the newspaper.
I'm sure that the speech that he read, the guy, he's a white supremacist.
What, Martin Selner?
Yeah,
I did research about him. He's like into philosophy and... This is what I was trying to say to you. When I was just looking at his stuff, right, I just watched 2 videos about the Martin Selner guy. You see, there's like this thing, it's like populism right now in Europe, innit? Like the right is like gaining so much traction again. And what it is like they're creating these like big beasts, like the liberal, political correctness, all these things that like using, to create like fear-mongering. It's fear-mongering. So Martin Selner is, I don't know his views, but I can tell that he comes from that pool of people, man. Like he's like new age, like I believe the right has like, back in the days, 80s, 90s, if you were a Nazi, you would know, you have the whole look, but nowadays you can't even tell anymore, Mike Spencer, that guy from America, for alt-right movement. If you look at him, you wouldn't see, you think like, oh, he's just like he's in it, but he's not. So I feel like what has happened a lot is like the far right has like dissolved to like very obscure like you can't pinpoint him anymore. It's very difficult to pinpoint him. In Germany, where I was raised from, there is a Nazi rapper who does hip hop. Can you imagine that? He raps and talks about his like nationalism, and then he was confronted before on Facebook, and we're like, how come like hip hop comes from the Bronx, Harlem, 70s? You know what his argument is? He goes like, oh, the Vikings used to rap as well. I'm really not just following, the trail of the Vikings. So, you see, but he has jazz influence.
So why don't you sing some country music then, innit? Tell him sing country music.
Yeah, so just to answer that question.
The Vikings definitely didn't have no DJ turntables on that.
And the English Defence League would not have formed if it wasn't for the people that turned up on that day. So when you had this big group grow, and we did have massive problems for the first 2 years in cleaning out the group. Right. And there was a demonstration we had, which was, if you can research it, it was up in Blackburn, and I stood up
put
and
comments
I gave a speech,
from his followers,
and I said, and I held
everywhere.
a Sikh lad's hand. I said, if you don't like what you see, you're in the wrong crowd. And then I started reading out names of people who I knew in the movement, who were part of.
That's look. You see that? Forget they're not speaking here. Him and him, they're walking the streets together. What does that say to you?
Yeah.
Seriously, what does that say to you? Like you're seeing Tommy Robinson and
I can't lie, yeah. It's mad. And obviously, and we just quickly address the phone call thing, yeah, because I just got a phone call from one of my brothers, and he's telling me, are you airing our laundry in the public, you understand? So I have to clarify that quickly and then clarify the point. So basically, I'm 1,000,000% real, I'm not fake. So when I said to the black Muslims that they should speak openly about any racism they face, and the black Muslims were telling me that there's people in the air telling not to air the dirty laundry, you understand? I'll be a hypocrite now if I was in the same situation, you understand? And I wasn't willing to speak. Now, this ain't nothing where I'm trying to create any division, you understand? Neither am I, like, there's no, like, it's not that deep, yeah? There's something I disagree with, like, even in this video, I don't agree with the fact that man's wearing Marcus Garvey on his
exactly.
chest,
What the flip?
Man's a real Garvey out here, and like obviously I've already said that Garvey had one of the biggest black movements, and the main thing about his movement is there was no religious division inside. You had Muslims, you had Christians, you had Jews, you had everyone in the same organisation, respected exactly the same. Yeah, in Marcus Garvey, that was his power. Yeah, if Marcus Garvey was on an anti-Islam thing, Marcus Garvey wouldn't have been half as powerful as he was. You understand? And that's just a reality. You understand? As a Christian, because Marcus Garvey was a Christian. You understand? So, so me, I wouldn't really, like, obviously the whole Sara Garvey thing, I, as a real Garveyite, like, as a real profound, like, follower of the Garvey's teachings, you understand, with no shimmy to one side, like, man would not be on that, you understand? Man, he would not be on. I was already critical from the Sara Garvey name, and I said that there's nothing I'm saying here I haven't said to man, you understand? I said the Garvey thing, remember what Garvey was about, rare. So that was, I was critical of that from the beginning, you get me? Because I feel like it's a bit of a dirt on his name, if I'm completely honest. So then I wouldn't really wear his shirt when you're linking up with my man as well, because that, it's like, it's controversial, you understand, fam?
It's a paradox as well.
These man, like...
Oxymoron.
Like, remember, Marcus Garvey, he did have a meeting with the KKK, but they were talking about how the black people wanted to go back to Africa and they wanted man out. It was a very political meeting. It wasn't like this...
Allegiance or something.
Yeah, it wasn't like this where man saying, man, trying to defend your free speech, and that Marcus Garvey hated their guts like anyone else, and he would openly speak out against, you get me? He made it clear he was against their political ideologies in every way, shape or form.
With the KKK, you mean?
Yeah, Marcus Garvey made it clear. They just had one thing in common, which was actually black people leaving. It wasn't Muslims or anything like that. It wasn't an external enemy they was linking up. It was just the goal of actually us getting out of America and getting to Africa. The same with the Nation of Islam. They wanted a segregated society. White people didn't want to live with black people. So they linked up based upon that historically, you get me? And obviously people can be critical of those moves as well. You understand? People are critical of those moves. You understand? But linking up
Malcolm X, is this where we were talking about, like Malcolm X talking about the house Negro? Is that the context of it?
No, that's different.
No, that's different.
Malcolm X was he was criticizing the Nation of Islam, in fact, because they linked up with the Ku Klux Klan.
Is that what he's talking
about?
about?
Yeah, that's a video on YouTube. Malcolm X is criticising the Nation of Islam because they linked up with the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
From the same, it's kind of similar, right?
But they had a political objective, and you're saying
but he wasn't.
It's not to defend their free speech to be racist.
No, because remember, Malcolm X was someone who wanted total autonomy for the black nation. Yeah, we can do our things on our own. We don't need external transfer, right? Yeah. So again, like you said, like I was trying to say, even before, when you look at the entire video, what they're doing there. I feel that they're using a lot of psychology, because even like how the video is structured, they use like music in the background to make it sound very relaxing, proper aesthetic, very beautifully shot.
I wouldn't really get onto it because I know the guy who filmed it. He's an OG still.
No, I'm not blaming the guy. I was amazed by the video. It's an amazing video. But what I'm trying to say is, that beauty. Like you look at that and you forget actually what's happening. Because I was reading in the comment section.
It's more visual. Like you see, like these like images. You see someone who's going to be a representative of the black community walking with the far right.
Good. It don't look good, man. I can't lie, man. And the thing is, like. Me, I wouldn't even be here talking about if it wasn't something that's a proper travesty, something that I proper. You know what I'm saying? This ain't got nothing to do with you lot. You get me? It ain't got nothing to do with the Muslims in the comments. It ain't got nothing to do. No Muslims, bro. It's between me and the Most High. You understand? Like my internal doesn't like it, and like you get me, man. Not linking up. Like them man is like man's real ops. You understand? Like I don't know how to put it. Like only time man even considered Muslims in any way sort of negative is coming Speaker's Corner. I can't lie, because that was the first time when I had negative reactions with this one saying this and this one being racist and this one. You get me? I like man, like I said, like the last 6 months we've been getting a lot of fight and we're not even anti-Muslim. So what I'm trying to say, when these men turned up, I was a little bit glad at the same time, because man can see there's the real enemy. You get me? You see him there talking about Allah, red, some old white guys and that. That's the real man. Them was on something talking about the youths that are dying in the ends. You get me? We got a G-circle about that. That's like we're not even getting caught up in the source. So
for those who don't know, what Raspect does a good job. He goes to communities. He tries to get people, because he's lived. He's had experiences himself. He's on the front line. He tries to get people. And look, he gets Muslims and non-Muslims, Christians, Jews, probably not Jews, but people that are on this.
Why not
Hebrews?
Couple Hebrews.
It's Egyptian.
You can't put the Ezra.
I couldn't imagine like Orthodox Jews.
No Orthodox Jews. I can't imagine that. None of them man there that are fighting Palestine still. They can't roll with man.
No Orthodox Jews are fighting Palestine, but them man did that.
Couple flashes around, man.
But what he does is he goes to communities and he tries to get those guys out of the gang environment, or out of, let's not say the gang environment completely. We'll talk about the violent gang culture where you're killing each other, killing your brother. This is a formidable thing to do. To be honest with you, and I think a lot of the debates in Speaker's Corner have swept aside a lot of the good that's coming out of that particular.
I believe 100%
of that movement.
I believe 100%.
Fam, you see, like man's in Gambia doing a G-circle. You got the guy in the G-circle telling you about the school that we're helping to fund over there. You get me? These are Muslim children, fam. The orphanage, fam. They don't have no water.
Yeah.
When we went in there, they was reading their Qurans.
Yeah.
You understand, fam? The whole orphanage is so. And this is before Speaker's Corner, man's been doing it. And man, don't talk about it. You don't see man on content over. Cause I'm not gonna go there and people say, oh yeah, they love me for that. I don't like that shit. I just like people to just be. If you like me, you like me. If you don't like me, you don't like me. I'm cool with either one. You know what I'm saying?
Authentic.
Like, and that's another thing. Like with a lot of like. Anyway, let me not even get into that. But let's get back at the thing.
Completely different agendas to us, and I called them out. And I said, show yourself in this crowd. Okay. But I only made this decision because I had to make this decision. Because we had to have a clear out of the movement. But what did the media report to you on that day, to the public? What would you have been told? You'd have been told EDL fight each other.
So you had to do it?
No, it was EDL clearing out.
He was compelled to do it. He didn't want to do it. He just said it. He said, I had to do it. I had to point out the races. You didn't want to do it. You had to, because it was a political move.
I would say, look, when it comes to politics, when I started the English Defence League, I didn't care about politics. Like most working class kids, I had zero interest.
What you have
I never watched any of those programs.
Is if he's openly racist, like who's really openly racist in the UK in 2008?
Exactly.
Really openly racist.
That's a good point.
Well, he was like, we saw that comment, David.
Yeah, 100%.
It slips up from time to time.
Yeah, 100%. But
Yeah.
like even that, he'll try to disguise that under a veil. You understand?
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like in 2018, 2017, 2000, I don't really know one who's
Yeah,
openly.
yeah.
And if they are, there's a backlash from the people. Look at H&M. They lost sales just from having a monkey T-shirt. Call this monkey. Lost sales. You understand? So people have to understand. People are asking these questions before you even saw the picture. Yeah. Understand that people are not openly racist. It's covert racism. That's first. Yeah. Second, the political agendas. When you study someone's political agendas, you can see if they're racist. That's why a lot of people say to me, "Show me something he said that's racist." I'm like, when the Europeans came to the Africa, they didn't have to say nigger. They didn't have to say anything racist. It was actions they done.
Speak louder than words.
Yeah, it was political agendas that they was carrying out. You understand? That was the real racism, and it's the same thing till today. You understand? The KKK, the EDL, is the same political agenda, and when that political agenda gets more power, and it's the same thing with the terrorists as well. You understand? Once the political agenda gets more power, you understand? Then you see actions. This is why you fight the political agenda. You understand? Like the political agenda of immigration is because they want to white England. They've been clear about it in the past. You understand? There's too much coloured people here. Even though coloured people are like 6% of the UK. So how is 6% of the UK gonna colonise the whole UK? I don't understand the maths on that one. So when Colour's saying when these people colonise you before, bruv, coloured people are 6% of the whole UK, my G. Like we're not a lot of the UK. We're big in London. You might be safe in London, but anytime you start going out, Cardiff and Wales, and you start realising, fam, you're the only brown or black in the village. You understand? So we think that because we're in London, there's loads of us and that. No, fam. When you're looking at that whole thing, there's whole villages where you can walk for miles and you might not see anyone with colour. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's true. So
like when they're saying to colonise the world, and then when they're saying Muslims are going to colonise the world, and they're such a small percentage, and then on top of that, the people like Tommy Robinson supports an ideology that has colonised the world, and he does not want to correct it. I've never heard him talk about trying to correct the wrongs and the ills, and let's try and reach out with people. And I've never heard him come with this. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's true.
And that's why I say when people say to watch something that people say that's racist, I say the way that we know, or the way that we might perceive that Jeremy Corbyn and people like that are not racist is not by what they, it's sometimes not by what people say, but what they don't say is how we know they're racist. So the fact that people will be very critical of racism, because the only time he's critical of racism is when you accuse him of being a racist. He's not really someone who might do a video and say, yo, the racism's horrible in England and we need to, this is an issue we need to sort, and I want all my followers. So it's only something that he do. Oh wow, it's like you know what I'm saying? It's how it's so that's my little.
That's too narrow. We don't need to hear because we don't need to watch the whole thing.
I feel like
because that's cool.
I think we've discussed a lot. I mean, again, Tommy Robinson's he is a very I would say a very complex character because he has so many conflict of interest. You know, I sometimes believe he is delusional or doesn't really believe in what he says. It's like he's got himself to this position so far that he can't go back. Because I've seen him once talking about he was like, you know, the way he's talking to Akala, and he says like, oh, do you think I wanted to be a leader? He says that, right? I think one of those videos, and he basically what he was saying was like, he wasn't happy to be the leader of the EDL. But you understand, because we know this from the Islamic principle that sometimes people who put themselves as leaders are usually not capable of leading, you know? And I feel he's got himself to a position right now where he's maybe starting to like it, because now he sees a different form of people who are starting to join him. It's not the middle class anymore. It's not the working class anymore. You have middle class people now joining as well, you know? And that's what I'm trying to say. Another thing, he's very aware of his class. He plays with it. It was a weakness for a long time, you know. And I feel like I was saying, I feel like Tommy Robinson has low self-esteem. That he's kind of built up his identity by being Tommy Robinson. It's not even his real name, but he has low self-esteem. When he talks to Piers Morgan, that's the one thing he says. He says like, well, you can talk with your, you know, big words on me. Like he knows his class. I'm white, middle class, British, and proud, and he plays on it. And he knows there are people who identify with that label, and I feel like that's a psychology that has to be dissected.
100%.
Well, man, it was very good having both of you guys here.
Yes, sir.
Do this way.
Raspect Fire Baby, Drill Sergeant, banning all racist and all of them
100%,
bigots, definitely,
100%.
you know what I'm saying? And there's no compromise on what kind of racist. I'm not here on no Uncle Tom thing, I'm not here on no Pally thing, I'm not.
That's one thing actually whilst you're on that, like a lot of people now are criticising those who have joined the EDO as being, they're calling them Uncle Tom and these kind of, what do you reckon? Do you think that's a fair criticism?
You know what, yeah? I'm kind of with Leon on a one where, like, me, a man's got to go inside his mind to know whether he's an Uncle Tom, yeah? But I just know that if I join them organisations, that's what I'll be submitting to, you know what I'm saying? But I can talk clearly from our position though, you understand? And I can talk passionately as well, that we are, like, the reason why man's here is to make it clear, you understand, that we have nothing, no ties, no strings, nothing in common with no Tommy Robinson. We're not here to defend his freedom of speech. We're not trying to do no security for him. He can get his own security. He can do his own thing, you understand? And I also want to say that...
Talk about the issue between the black Muslims and...
just
briefly maybe as well.
So like I said, like, a lot of people are going to be critical of me for sitting right here. You get me? Very critical, because they're going to say, yo, Ras, the Muslims have been fighting you the whole time and you've been cool and that, but like, you get me, now Tommy Robinson and them come, now everyone's saying your name.
To be fair, me and you never had a problem.
Nah, me and HIJAB have never had a problem, you get me? 100%. And me and HIJAB, I'd say me and Shamsi, I'd say those are the two main speakers that I haven't, that could have, you get me? But other than that, like, you get me, I have had problems with certain men as well, you know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna get into that right now, But mainly, when I'm talking, like, obviously, my thing is, I'm not on no fake love thing, innit? So, my thing is, like, I might say something, that we might have a conversation, we might have disagreements, innit? But you can't be getting onto people for that, because you know what, in situations like this is where it will mess up your actual real allies, you know what I'm saying, fam? Because there's people that will see that and feel like no one can't say anything, you get me, and without getting that attacked, you get me? So that's something for all of the Muslims out there to think about, you know what I'm saying? And another thing is, the same way that I them come out to defend, like the same, you know, the same vigorousness, when someone's doing man wrong, that same vigorousness should go on to the you know what I'm saying, into dealing with these racist comments and because like I said, like in both things, sometimes you see some racist comments, you get me? And that needs to be addressed, fam. Like, I'm not like you know what I'm saying? But like I said, like me, I look at this thing on the one where we have to know what, like you said, this is there's been a lot of division between us and there's been a big divide, like I didn't like to see it between us and the black Muslims especially. You understand, over this thing, you get me? Like I said to one of the, I think it was Mahmoud, I said, like, the reason why man don't want to debate is because it's just creating more division between me and you. You understand, fam? Like, man don't really want that. And humanity, you understand? But like, especially in our community though, because we've got so much things to deal with in our community, you understand? And so much bigger pressing issues than the speaker's corner thing, that's not my intentions for being down there. But then saying that, like, I've got plenty of brothers, you get me, even before all of this, that have shown man straight love, you understand, the whole time. So man, you know what I'm saying, and that's what man concentrate on, and that's what I've been defending, that realness. So all I gotta say is that when I'm sitting here for truth, you get me. I'm sitting here, I'm not letting the Arab racist or the European, no one's going free from the judgment. 100%. But at the same time, man, saying that in this time now, fam, as black people, you understand, in our community, we have Muslims. See one sitting right there. You're not gonna find no EDL member in our community like that. You understand? It's someone who's more disassociated themselves from our community completely. You know what I'm saying? And doesn't.
And it's historically always been like this, because just quickly, I know Sara makes a point later in the video, because I watched it before. He makes a point and says, well, I'm African and I care about African issues, and I feel like Christianity and Islam does not belong to us because they colonized us. But then you've been to Gambia, and you know the history of Gambia, and like this traditional you know, Marcus Garvey being a Christian himself, being very spiritual about
very.
Yeah, and also the fact that West Africa was never colonized by no Arabs.
It's never been colonized.
It's never been colonized.
It's historically encouraged. Like, it's not true.
Them man, they are proud. No Arab can't go over there and tell them that. And like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, and that's what. But I do see the issue when you see Zachariah and that. But the man them in Gambia, they're nothing like Zachariah, fam. You get me?
They got their own culture.
Yeah, they got their own, and they're proud of it, fam. And no one can't tell them that. And they're proud of their Islam as well. You understand? They're proud of their culture and they're proud of their Islam. You understand? And this is been our main message for the whole time. You get me?
Yeah, and
like,
and
you know, you're Muslim, be proud of your black culture as well. You can be proud of both of them. It's not contradicting. It's not conflicting.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying, fam?
The problem is, unfortunately, that the diaspora in Europe and in America are not aware of. You've been to them, you've seen it. Many people, many blacks are not aware of that tradition, that deep-rooted tradition that goes back. You know, Islam was in Africa before it was in the subcontinent. Do you understand? Islam has been there for a long time. So people are not aware of that, and that's, I think, it's to do with representation.
And even the Kemet thing, Gaz was upset about that. When Kemet's blanketly stated, you get me? Like, there's so many different ideologies within Kemet. I think because people see maybe some individuals saying it the most, you might think that that's the overall mind frame of that Kemet. It's not, fam. You get me? Like I was showing you, in your country, Egypt, you see many people with the ma'at, many people with the ankh, many people with all the symbology. They even tell you about it. You understand? I went to a papyrus shop which showed me the oldest paper and all this. These are Muslims. And they're deep interconnected.
We've got that stuff.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real, you know what I'm saying? So, like, when man say Kemet, it's not like one ideology or nothing like that. It's just a study of a particular culture. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's that simple. So, when man say Kemets and that, like, a lot of people don't like you for that. They're like, oh, he said it again. Right. He's putting it onto the...
But when I say Kemets, I always don't mean gaps. You know? And I told them that in person. I told them, when I say that, all I'm talking about are three characters. Kalam, Sara, and now Big Bro. That's what I mean. When I say that, that's the only three characters I have in mind. When I say that, because they represent a specific...
And Big Bro's not really a Kemet.
I don't think he is even.
I don't think he even thinks it's that thing of Sara. I don't know what Sara. Sara's more
talks
on the energy thing. He's on the energy thing. Nah, man. See the ancestors thing, that's like how you lot would say about Moses, and you know what I'm saying? It's just like revering the righteous ones who came before us.
I don't know, whatever it is. I've never criticised it. Because I've just always thought of it as his thing, you can do your thing, I can do my thing. I've never criticised it.
No, what I'm saying is, you see in the Bible, when they're talking about like, David was the son of, Solomon was the son of David, and David was the son of, that's ancestors. It's an ancestral lineage that it's given reverence to, you get me? It's just the same, you get me? It's no different. Like, obviously different people have their different interpretations, so there might be Muslims who have an interpretation of certain things in Islam, and they might put a more spooky connotation to it or whatever. You understand? No, I'm going to be real, but it's just a reality. Like, I've had people that came before me that fought for my freedom, like they literally, you get me? So I remember and revere that, you get me? And the same time when I go, it's going to be the same, and your children are going to do the same. They're going to be like my ancestors came before me, and they, you know what I'm saying? But it's not on a thing where man's trying to. It's not no spooky.
Just to close this down.
Well, one thing before you close it down, one thing is like, I heard one thing that Kalam did say, like he was talking about Malcolm X. And he was trying to strip all the Islam away from him. That's Malcolm X was a Muslim. Like, he died as a Muslim. He went to do Hajj. He came back. He said after he came from Hajj that he sees that one of the solutions to racism was Islam.
Yeah, he set up two organisations. He set up one organisation which was multicultural, which was Islamic. And anyone could join, and he set up an organisation called the National Afro-American People's Parliament, where that was black men and black women coming to deal with the politics. So when he came before, he was part of the Nation of Islam, which mixes politics and it mixes politics and religion. You understand? When after that, he came back and he made a distinction and differentiation between politics and the religion.
He came out of the Nation of Islam right before his death. Before he was killed by them. If you take that, Farrakhan says that he was killed by them, or whatever, like whatever story you want to take by it, that's a controversial matter, or whatever. But the truth is that we've got to be. This is what I feel as well. Like, we've got to be very honest about our historical analysis. Like, Islam is not a religion. It cannot be argued, in my opinion, that Islam is a religion of racism. It's never been argued academically, like on a high level.
I think the racism is more cultural. When we talk about racism, we're talking about culture.
So if you say Muslims are racist, I'm with you. I agree with that. In Saudi Arabia, and not only just like we talk about most Arab countries.
Yeah.
In fact, the whole Muslim world, I would say that blacks are probably the most people that have suffered.
Dark skinned people right across the world.
That's how it is.
I don't like. You get
Yeah,
me?
but that's how it is. That's how it is though.
Since the Aryan invasions.
But that is something which is a cultural thing. The Prophet Muhammad told us very clearly that there's no superior Arab to a non-Arab or a black to a white.
Oh no, can we revisit that statement, because I want to just be clear on this. What you said? You said in Islamic world, the blacks are the ones who suffer the most.
In terms of like racism, you could.
I would disagree. I personally, for my historical readings, I would disagree with that statement.
Go on,
No, you can hear it. I would just for example, if you go to Saudi Arabia today, okay, someone who comes from the subcontinent will tell you more about racism than someone else, right?
Yeah, probably.
Right.
It depends. It's regional. Yeah,
it's
right.
regional. It's by epoch. It's
I like that. No, you might be right. We can't generalize.
I wouldn't say that.
We can't generalize either. Yeah, we can't generalize.
I say in Egypt, that's what I can't lie. That's where I faced the most racism ever.
Did you find it?
Yeah. These man was onto man. I don't know why. If I'm in the airport, the cabs, everyone was just onto man, and then the black Muslims.
What part of it did you go to though?
I went to Cairo, and the black Muslims, they were telling me that everyone's gone down South Egypt, like
that's where they're based. Like Aswan, like the black, because they're black Egyptians. They're obviously Nubian, but also black Egyptians. They're more in the south. Where my family, some of it are from the south. Okay. Which is why when I did that DNA test, I found a lot of.
You can tell.
I was quite surprised, but I didn't know it was West because it was from West Africa. But I was quite surprised about that. But a lot of them, like I've got one grandparent, but a lot of
Africa, like when people say, that's what I'm saying, Africa, people have always been travelling. So you're always going to have this from here, you know what I'm saying? People act like everyone just stayed in one place, like, and just stood there, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for thousands of years.
You found racism there, yeah?
Yeah, man, I did. And I love
racism though?
Well, you know what? I can't lie. The black Muslims did tell me that if I was Muslim, I might get a different treatment. You get me? But at the same time, they said that some of them they get treated away. But you get me? Like they're more used. Like the thing is, there's a I can't lie. Like there's something that it kind of makes me want to fight as well. Like because it's a bit of a defeatist. Because I think like it's just surrounded.
I reckon Egypt's one of the countries now that is becoming more westernized.
Okay.
Do you know what we've got? I can remember going to a pharmacy one time, and I went inside and they've got this thing. I think it's all over the Arab world now. It's called Fair and Lovely. Have you come across that? Fair and Lovely.
The hair,
It's called Be White. There's one called Be White. There's actually one called Be White. It's a Be White.
They're killing it. I'm saying now they got it all in like Africa, in the Caribbean.
Have they got that as well?
So it's a real issue.
They have it in India as well.
Yeah.
Vietnam.
Yeah.
Colorism is international problem.
No, that's a serious issue though. That is a serious issue.
100%.
It is, but I feel like that's what I'm trying to say, like you were saying, defeatism and also like representation and understanding of your culture, understanding of your identity, that actually, hold on, when the Moroccans, because this is how Islam came to Africa. It came from Egypt all the way to Tunisia, Libya, Tunisia, Morocco, and then it did a turn. Yeah. So when...
but that was trade though, wasn't it?
Yeah, when Islam came to West Africa, there were some battles in Senegal, but they weren't big enough to be recorded as the battle. Why? Because the Mali Empire.
There was a big war for Islam.
Yeah.
You had big empires.
The Malian Empire, the Ghana Empire, the Mali. They had
the fullest versus the Mandinkas.
Dead soldiers, bro. Yeah. You weren't able to fight them, and there's also the fact that when the Sahaba came to Sudan, they couldn't fight the Sudanese. They were just too strong. So they found different ways, and so this belief, this like thing that Sara says and many other people, you were enslaved and like bring us the records.
That's why Muhammad Ali, when he changed his name to Muhammad Ali, he called it an African name.
Oh, that's
he called it an African name. That's what he called it. Muhammad is an African name because why wouldn't it be? It's the choice of the African. When an African makes an autonomous decision to call himself X, that becomes his name.
Yeah.
He changed his name from that which was given to him to that which he chose for himself. How could it not be an African name?
Yeah, I mean,
because when was it that they were colonized? Do you get it? They were never colonized. West Africans were never colonized by any Muslim empire, ever. They only became Muslim empires. The Mali Empire became a Muslim empire.
Yeah,
You get it? So,
Mansa Musa travelled across,
yeah.
came back
And
with some scholars and architects.
There's also
and,
other. There are also
built the first mosque over
Yeah,
there.
it's things like that. So it's that narrative.
That's history.
that also
Yeah.
that's very important. You said something amazing. I think this could be like maybe if you want to add to it as well. There's this guy called Edward Blading, right? And he was a black American Christian. He spoke 5 languages, and he went to West Africa, and then upon arriving in West Africa, he became Muslim, and then he actually wrote a book. Yeah, you can put this in the description as well. And the book is Africa and Islam. His beliefs was that Africa, that Islam was an African religion, or it was best suited to the African.
Well, the first hijrah was in Africa, isn't it?
Yeah, Mansa Musa, right? That's
No, the first hijrah.
the hijrah. Yeah.
The first place where Muslims were safe is Africa.
Ethiopia, yeah.
First place where it was
Habasha.
safe to be a Muslim.
That's
you get me?
very, very.
You understand?
Very
So
strong
man after like that's what I'm saying. Historically,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. There's not too much beef with us. You understand, fam? Don't get twisted.
By the way, one more thing, yeah. There's no contradiction of being Arab and black at the same time. Do you know that? Because the Prophet, what we have a definition, working definition of who is an Arab. So one of them is man takallama bil arabiyya, whoever speaks Arabic. So if you're someone who speaks Arabic but you've got dark skin, you're an Arab black. For example, Sudanese or Malian or Mauritanian. Because in Mauritania there's black Arabs. Yeah, and there are blacks and Arabs. Sudan, what would you consider them? If you ask a Sudanese person, what are they?
Even Yemen, look.
Yemen.
That and Tanzania.
Black in Egypt.
And like,
You got
what's it
black
called?
Arabs. They're black Arabs. That's what they would consider themselves.
Some people argue they were the original Arabs.
No, but what were they though? They wouldn't have been all white. You get me? Like, it would have been.
What's that place? Tanzania has a lot of Muslims as well, and they're Arabs as well. And obviously, that's what I'm trying to say. We want to be real, right?
Yeah.
So obviously, we have all that goodness, but then you find as well that there were Arabs. You know, like someone like Tiputu, who was from East Africa. He came to Congo, and he was labeled as a slave master, and he was doing ivory. But you know, the other day I was just researching, incredible. I was researching my tribe, Mototela tribe in Congo, and I looked at and I was like, Mototela wars, right? Arab Mototela wars. I'm like, what the flip? I researched into it and I found out what was happening in the 19th century. That my tribe in particular, the Mototela, lined up with the Arabs and were fighting the colonial powers. See, that's the information age. That's what it does to you.
Wow.
When people come to you,
know that
and there's a senior to mine, you know, Sheikh Danjuma. We've discussed this many times.
He came to speak school a couple of times.
Yeah, we've discussed this many times because he's of the view that the Arab slave trade in Africa was detrimental. I don't believe it was. Because look at this, when the Europeans came to Africa,
The Arabs introduced it.
They introduced it, fair enough.
Portuguese.
But in terms of, you know, when the Portuguese came to West Africa, what did they find? Did they not find the Malian Empire?
Yeah.
Right? So when the Europeans came and they left, we had independent days. Do you see what I'm trying to say? One, here you have independence, they're independent from one.
Well, I think even if the guys who done the thing after like did invade and there was guys who done wrong, you get me, fam? That's got like for me, when I studied Islam personally, this is just my personal study. I studied like the times of the Prophet when he was in Saudi Arabia. They fought him. He went to Medina, came back, went to Saudi Arabia. He went back to Mecca and we passed on, and you know what I'm saying. Then after that, you had the caliphs, and then they started to spread out. So I'm saying like my thing is like as a Muslim, your prophet and like the inception of your religion, that's the core, innit? After that, whatever everyone else done, you get me? Because I'm critical of things that happen after.
Yeah,
I'm not really critical of too much that happened.
For us, it's what the Prophet did and what the three generations of companions did. The first is the most important. The first generation is the most important.
Yeah.
But even then,
obviously, I'm critical of Muawiyah and certain things he done in going in.
As soon as you say that,
we have that a little bit, But obviously, you know what I'm saying. But I'm saying, from the outside, we didn't see that from the actual Prophet though. That's not an example that he actually.
Yeah, what he done is like.
He just defended, innit? Like man tried to kill him in Mecca. He went to Medina, made a little army, he came back. He said, "Yo, let me take back my land." And boom, man was there. He didn't go out and he wasn't out killing no man at all and telling them You have to. You didn't do none of that, so you can like that's what I say to hold fast on. What other people done, I don't know. Like they're human beings at the same time. You get me?
Yeah. I mean, the only reason why I'm addressing this is because I don't want to like sound as if I'm apologetic. I'm aware of the mishaps that took place. But if you want to measure, because they like measuring, then let's measure. That's all I was doing.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, listen, guys, it was illuminating, man.
100%.
Illuminating. It's good. It's good. I think that generally speaking, this is what we should be doing. With people like Raspect, they deserve a lot of, and this is going to be cliche now, but there's a lot of respect here. How many times have you seen that in the comment section? Like, respect to Raspect. But they do, because you know what? There are people in every community who are reasonable. Do you understand what I'm trying to say there? We have to find reasonable people in every community. That's how we can create bridges of communication, understanding, And even if we disagree on fundamental issues, like for example, you might not be a Muslim, I'm a Muslim, I might not be exactly in tune with everything that you do, and you might not be, it works like that. However, we come at the end of the day for things that we agree upon, and even on things we disagree upon. The Quran says, وَاصْبِرْ عَلَى مَا يَقُولُونَ وَاهْجُرْهُمْ هَجْرًا جَمِيلًا. Like, be patient with whatever they say, and leave them in a nice way. Do you get, the people that you disagree with, like for example, disbelievers, leave them in a nice way. So we try and create like them bridges, we try and create that like communication, and we leave each other in a nice way, and that way there's no grudge.
100%.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, come on,
nice one, man. Quite Guys, make sure to subscribe to whoever the channel this is going on, and tune into the next G Circle, because I'm sure there's going to be some serious stuff going on there.
Don't know, Raspect Fire Bingy, Drill Sergeant Air, G Circle this Sunday. Last week we saw a lot of EDL go down to the park in their numbers. We saw some of them attack some of our brothers. You understand? So I'm calling out the generals right now. You understand? Because we're going to do a G Circle, standing in solidarity, dealing with our own issues, but we're also going to be able to protect ourselves and protect our loved ones if necessary. You understand? But we're not going down there for any passer. You understand? But like I said, no one's going to chase us out of the park. We're not going to be scared by any numbers. We're still going to go and defend our freedom of speech. You understand? So G Circle this Sunday, like I said, EDL, they was attacking people last week. So if you're not built like that, you get me, you might want to stay at home. But for all my journers, we're going to be there Sunday. I'll see you there. Gang.
معنا نهج حياة جئنا تبصرة عن كل ضلال أعددنا بضع رسالات تحمل نورا للأجيال معنا نهج حياة جئنا تبصرة عن كل ضلال أعددنا بضع رسالات تحمل نورا للأجيال ولكي لا ننطفئ هلم